Hi guys, I'm at the car park up on Robert Ridge in Nelson Lakes National Park. I've been doing some tramps up here over the last 2 days, just come up to take some photos. I just wanted to show you a piece of kit that I own. This is actually the oldest piece of tramping equipment that I have in my possession. What it is it's a Kovea hiker stove. So I bought this stove back in 1990 when I was in the New Zealand Army to use when we went out into the field, and I've had this ever since. So this is actually like at least 32 years old. Well, I've owned it for 32 years. Kovea is a really good brand, like really good quality equipment. The only thing I've had to do with this over the years is I had to replace the O-ring because it's got an O-ring where it connects onto the gas bottle that you're using, and you have to do that every so often because they start to perish. But apart from that, like, I've never had to do anything with it. It still works really well. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take her out and I'll show it to you and let you have a look and see what it looks like, and then I'm just going to boil some water for a coffee. So the stove comes in this wee canvas-like case, and just has a zip on the top, and it folds down into the case. The burner head, I quite like it. It's got a really big burner head on it. It's quite efficient with your gas, and so you can see it's just got some arms at the top here for resting your pot on. You got your burner head, and then you've just got like your regulator on the side here for the gas. There's no piezo on this because this is old. Even the new versions of these don't have piezo igniters on them, but you don't need it. You just light it with a match or a lighter, whichever you happen to have. Really good. This will boil a litre of water in about probably 3.5 to 4 minutes. So, I mean, when you think about modern stoves, real efficient stoves are doing it in like 2.5 to 3.5. That's not actually that bad. With a medium size gas canister, I would get about maybe 12 boils of water out of this. Yeah, so I mean, it's fairly efficient, even though it's a really old design. So the stove will accept all sizes of gas bottles from the 110ml right up to the 700ml ones. What I have here is I've got a Kovea 110ml gas bottle with me. So connecting it, you just basically connect it like all gas stoves, sticker on the bottom. Tighten her up. Then you just need to make sure your arms are in place. And then it's just a case of lighting it up. So we'll just light her up. What I should do first is actually put water in my pot, so I'm not wasting any gas. So I've just got my Toke's 1.3 litre pot here, titanium pot. I'll just light the stove. And then we just put the pot on top. And then we'll just let that burn. What I've got for a coffee is I've got one of these Nescafe 3-in-1s, and I just have my Cedar Summit cup mug here, and I'm just make her up in this. So I'll bring you back when the water's boiled. So we're starting to get a bit of a boil going on. It's a bit breezy here. There's wind coming in through the sides of the shelter. It's probably just about done. The water I'm using was from the motel I'm staying in St Arnaud, so I don't really need to boil the hell out of it. Yeah, so you can see we've got the boil done. So what I'll do is I'll just take the pot off. So you should always take the pot off first and then turn the stove off. Shouldn't do it the other way because you might spill the hot water on yourself. Yeah, that's good. So we just open our coffee up, pour her in. Then it's just a case of pouring your water in. Add sugar or not to personal preference. You don't actually need sugar with these 3-in-1s because I've got sugar and milk substitute in them already. Yeah, and so that's the stove working. Yeah, so you just give her a bit of a stir up before you drink it. You can hear the wind out there probably. It's starting to pick up like it's supposed to start raining later this afternoon. So I've got my coffee to have, and I've also got a sandwich I bought down in the settlement. So that's my lunch. I'm just going to have my sandwich, drink my coffee, and then I'm heading back down the Mount Robert Road, heading back down to West Bay there, maybe to do another walk, and I'll just actually see what the weather's like when I get down there. So like I say, this is the oldest piece of tramping equipment that I actually own. Had it for 32 years. I used it in the army, used it for tramping from the 80s like right up till now. Brand new, these stoves are roughly around about $65 to $70. When I bought this it was about $35 I think, back in 1990. Yeah, and it's a good stove. It's like really efficient, folds down small. It is a wee bit heavier, like this one here weighs about 110 grams as opposed to my small titanium stove that basically is very similar to this, that weighs 70 grams including the plastic container it comes in. Yeah, so it does go out on trips with me sometimes, not as often as it used to, because I've got so many different stove systems nowadays. I've got titanium stoves, I've got 3 stoves like this, I've got the MSR wind burner as well. Yeah, so I still take it out because it's like nostalgia, you know. I take it out as a nostalgic thing, but you know, if you were looking for a first stove and you couldn't afford like a $200 titanium, all the bells and whistles MSR stove, this is definitely like a good option for you. So taking the stove to pieces is the reverse of like assembling it. You just have to leave it for a wee while to cool down because the stove is made out of steel, so it keeps the heat for quite a while. Just be careful when you're packing it up, but you just basically disconnect it. If you're in a hut, you should be doing this outside. You shouldn't be doing it inside the hut. And then the stove itself, all of the arms, they come loose and they all fold back to where the gas regulator is at the back of the stove, like this. And then that way it fits into that wee bag that you have for it. yeah, so oldest piece of tramping gear. I don't know what the next oldest piece of tramping gear I have would be. I've got a Marmot sleeping bag that I've owned for 12 years now, so probably that would be it. I did have other gear in the past, but like, you know, basically it's worn out, it's got thrown away. Just kind of goes to show you the ruggedness of the stove, because it's had a heap of use, that it's still running perfectly fine after 32 years. That's why buying quality is always a good idea. You know, you can buy stoves nowadays in New Zealand for like 30 to 40 New Zealand dollars, but they normally only last for a couple of years, and there's no replacement parts for the things. They're basically throwaway items, you know. Perfectly fine if you're just getting into tramping and camping and that kind of thing and you don't have anything else, but you should be kind of thinking on an arc of eventually replacing your basic gear with like better quality gear as you go by. Doesn't have to be brand name gear, but just like better quality. That was my Kovea backpacking stove. Oldest piece of tramping equipment that I own. Had it for 32 years now. Yeah, hope that was of some interest to you. As always, leave no trace. I've taken all my rubbish with me, tidied up after myself. Don't want to leave any rubbish or food here because you'll get rodents around this building. Thanks for watching the videos. Yeah, I really appreciate support and people watching the things. Yeah, look out for more videos to come.